Remember these? Oh yeah, they're going absolutely crazy. In fact, it's not just Bitcoin puppets. In general, it's ordinals that are just going absolutely crazy. Runes and ordinals, in fact. And you can see this if you go on Magic Eden and just have a look at the volume over the last 7 days. Node Monkeys, Bitcoin puppets, Quantum Cats, a lot of the top collections that we've seen over the last 6 months with green volume and quite a lot of it. Now, there's lots of reasons why this could potentially be happening, but in the last week, the entire Bitcoin ecosystem when it comes to runes and ordinals have been going pretty crazy. A lot of people are speculating that Magic Eden, which is somewhat similar to OpenSea and Tensor and Blur, of course, being a marketplace for these different instruments, you could call them. They're not NFTs, they're ordinals. But you can see that there's potentially a bit of speculation that Magic Eden could be having its moment now with a token. And of course, Magic Eden, like many other protocols, do have a points program at the moment where you can earn some of these diamonds for listing and selling and doing all kinds of different things, including kind of making offers as well. And so potentially there could be some speculation there. But what we do know is that there's just been in general a lot of volume. And what we've also seen this week is there's been a bunch of different mints for some of these runes as well. And Ord.io actually just put this tweet out talking about different runes accounting for 70% of Bitcoin transactions on the 10th of October. What we do know is that all of this interest leads to an increase in Bitcoin transaction fees, and you can see this very, very clearly here. Just having a look at this chart going from October, where you can see what transaction fees were looking like just a couple of weeks ago, to what they've looked like this week has been absolutely insane. Now, there's one way to speculate. You could buy a Bitcoin puppet. 0.17 BTC, that is a lot, right? This is potentially a little bit liquid as well. It's not the easiest to trade. But what if you could trade this chart? We know that transaction fees are going to increase because of the various activity that's happening. What if you were able to long this chart, potentially early, and potentially even short this chart at the top? Well, you can actually do that, and today that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about with Alkimiya, a marketplace where you can speculate on the rise and fall of Bitcoin transaction fees. And today that's kind of what I wanted to show you, essentially how the application works, and some of the different things that you can do, including buying and selling your different transaction fees. They've created these instruments that you can buy, so you can long or short. And yeah, I think it's a really, really interesting derivative that I wanted to talk about today. Now, when you head over to the Alkimiya web app, you might be a little bit confused with what's going on, and that's kind of what I'm going to try and explain today. So first things first, Alkimiya have these pools, and these pools typically last around a week. You can see here on the top, 8th of October to the 15th of October, they typically last around a week. And so you've got this 1 week period of trading activity where essentially you can speculate on where the transaction fees are going to go. Now, within this pool, they have two kind of sub pools. They have a pool that has a cap and a floor price, and one that's slightly higher. So you can see the floor price and cap are slightly higher. And so the idea is you can pick one of the pools and essentially you can speculate within this range here. And so what you can do is you can trade between these different pools here. So you've got the floor price here and the cap price there. That's essentially what you can trade within, and of course within the 7-day period as well. And so what you can do is you can essentially buy or sell. Essentially buying means you're longing, you think the price of transaction fees are going to go up, or you can sell, essentially shorting, you think the price of transaction fees is going to go down, and you can kind of speculate how you wish. Now, there's lots of data that you can use. You can, of course, go to the mempools, have a look and see what the transaction fees are looking like at the moment. You can have a look and see kind of what ordinals are, upcoming. Are there any kind of hyped up ones as well? And of course, you can use the data that they have in this Dune dashboard, which I'll try and leave a link to if you're watching on YouTube in the description below, and kind of get a good idea of the trend of different transaction fees kind of over time. And this chart updates hourly, so you can kind of see hour to hour, like kind of which direction we're going. There are, of course, lots of other pieces of data that you should use, but essentially, once you've kind of decided on the direction that you want to go in, you can head over to the app. And this is a a peer-to-peer model, and so essentially you can either buy or sell some of the orders that other people have listed. So you can see a lot of them right here. These are buy orders and some of these are sell orders. If it just loads in a second, let me click on buy, and this will load in a second, and you'll be able to see a bunch of the different buy orders. Or if you wanted to, you can actually just create orders yourself. Now, right now, there aren't any orders available for this pool, and that's because we're actually trading in the second pool itself. As you can see, this is where we're trading at right now with an average Bitcoin fee of around 15.6. So, we're not in this first pool anymore. We're actually in the second pool. So I should probably click on that. And now I think the orders will be able to come up. So you can see, look, these are all different orders that other people have put up. I can buy one of them immediately right now. Likewise, if I want to go on the other side, I can sell one of these orders right now. And yeah, it's entirely up to you what you want to do. You could also create an order. So that's probably what I'm going to do today, actually. I'm looking at transaction fees. I'm looking at, kind of how they have kind of slowed down a little bit, how the mempool space shows like transaction fees have settled a little bit. And so, you know what, I wouldn't mind kind of opening a sell order actually today. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to enter like an order size and of course a price. Now, in terms of like deciding what the price is going to be, look, you can look at kind of what the best buy and what the best sell orders are right now. And so I'm going to put in one of these orders right now, and hopefully someone can fill it for me later. Of course, as transaction fees change over time, your orders may fill, they may not fill. You can kind of enter how many hours you'd like your order open for. This is essentially like a limit order, pretty much. And so, yeah, I think if transaction fees at the moment are, the average transaction fee is around 15.6, maybe I want to set a limit order for, let's say, 16. Just as an example, and I can set like 24 hours until expiry, and all I have to do is approve the payment, and look, this will tell me like what the estimated payout will be if transaction fees were to remain the same. So that's pretty much how that works. You just have to kind of approve. Once you've approved, you can submit the order and you'll be able to see it in your open orders. So now you can see on my screen, I've entered in the details, a limit price of 16. I want to create this sell order. This is for the second pool as well. So you can see like, I'm aiming for, hopefully if the floor price hits 12, that's where I'm going to make hopefully most of my money. I'm going to click create order and I'm going to pay this transaction fee. It's actually just a signing order, and once that's done, you'll see that there is a order that has been successfully created. Now, if you do scroll down, you will head over to the order tab. Here you'll be able to see some of your open orders at the moment. So you can see I've got a sell order at this particular price, the expiry and things like that. I can cancel the order as well. Once this position opens, I'll head over to the positions tab and I'll be able to see it directly here. And again, as I mentioned, you just have to wait until the 2-day period is over, until the whole 7-day is over. And then that's kind of when you can kind of settle your position over time. So I think that really covers most of the application. You do have some other data that you can see on the app, but otherwise it's a fairly simple and intuitive app to use. I don't think there's many difficulties there whatsoever. You can also go and have a look at Alkimiya on Twitter. They do post some really interesting concepts, especially regarding kind of how transaction fees are changing over time and some of the different, interesting elements there. They are also doing a trading competition, and of course they, I have been working with them to help produce some of this content as well. So shout out to them. There are some really incredible guys working there, and I've had a blast, playing around with the application and having lots of fun. So let me know what your thoughts are. This is a really interesting application, one that I'm kind of enjoying using whilst the trading competition is around at the moment. Let me know kind of what you think are some of the good points, some of the bad points. I think there's definitely room to improve, and I think there's definitely some ideas that I have kind of posted to the team, and hopefully we'll see kind of how that plays out. But yeah, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment down below, and we'll be back with plenty more educational content in the not so distant future.